everyone. I'm excited to speak about insurance in the digital world because insurance has been a laggard industry for too long, and it's a very exciting time to be in this industry. Consumers today demand more simplicity from us, and it's not something that comes naturally to this traditional industry. We like complicating stuff more than simplifying them, so it's a new challenge. And the main aspect of the whole simplification journey is how can we make it easy for the customer to understand what they're buying, because invariably the exclusions are more than the inclusions. So there are three parts to this journey. The first one is simplifying the buying experience, simplifying the service journey, simplifying the claims experience, and above all, making it easier for the customer to understand what they're buying. The only way we can do that is by going away from the traditional ways of product creation, which was giving one big product to the customer and the customer is not aware what they're covered for and what they aren't. In the new model, we are talking about bite-sized insurance, which makes it very simple for the customer to know exactly what they're covering, and they will choose in an omni-channel way on how they buy, how they consume the product. The third aspect of the proposition is cost. Products have to have perceived value for money for the consumers in today's world. Because insurance is one of the few industries where people actually may or may not consume a service for a premium or payment that they are making. And most people would say we don't want to consume because insurance happens for unforeseen events. So the trust aspect and the perceived value proposition is very critical. Millennials and zillennials are today used to buying things on their phone. So for that, we insurers have to be talking the mobile language, which includes price, which includes the way we buy the product and the way we consume the service. Technology has obviously made this whole experience much easier. For me, technology is at the back. There's enough technology today available in the market to simplify that consumer experience. So once we know what does the consumer want, then the choice of technology, be it blockchain, be it AI, be it chatbots, is a very easy conversation because there are enough providers and technology available which are quite mature. Millennials and zillennials offer a very different opportunity in today's market. We have to understand them much more deeper. We've done quite a bit of focus group as well as consumer surveys. What the surveys show us is three things matter to a millennial customer. The first one is a mobile phone, because all of us are carrying a mobile phone all the time. How many of us have been in experiences where the mobile phone is missing for a couple of minutes and we start panicking, right? The second one is travel. Of course, during COVID times, it's not the best topic, but in general, we love traveling in today's world. The third is their health, because millennials and zillennials do not want to go to their parents for pain when they fall sick. These are the three key propositions that consumers of today want. And that is why we need to create propositions for those consumers which speak the language of how they want and what they want. That is where, for me, data and technology come in quite handy. As most people say, data is the next oil. And that's why you see all of us fighting for that same data. How can we get more data about the consumer so that we can launch propositions which are more relevant to these groups across different touch points in the consumer journey? For example, insurance is a very event-based product. If you get married, you have a child, you bought a house, you bought a car, that's when you buy insurance, by and large. Then it is also a risk-based buying. So, for example, you had someone who has cancer somewhere in the family or among your friends, or you have a pandemic, insurance knowledge increases. What data helps us is to know how these life stage changes are happening so that we can then give them propositions which are more relevant to their current situation, and that automatically will ensure they're not overbuying or they're not undercovered. So in insurance, we have two issues today. One is under penetration, people who don't buy insurance. The second issue is people who buy insurance but don't buy enough. And Malaysia has a big issue on both sides, particularly on under insurance. Many of the policies are just not enough to cover for the current cost of inflation that we have. The customer journey that we have today is evolving constantly, because what we are seeing more and more is insurance is not being bought per se as a product, but is being bundled more and more with other products or propositions that you consume. For example, if you are with a telco and you like the telco and you're comfortable, you've shared the data with the telco, you rather prefer continuing that conversation with the telco and buying financial services products that suit you. What we as insurers are doing more and more is actually going up down that route and working with different partnerships to engage the consumer in the best way possible. The second part of it is research by Morgan Stanley and BCG have shown that in across 12 countries, roughly 50% of millennial consumers are ready to switch insurers for a better internet interaction or online interaction. Let's come to Malaysia. In Malaysia, Kantar research recently showed that actually customers, even during the pandemic, 30% of them were ready to put more value into insurance. So it's a very interesting trend we are seeing. People are becoming more aware. People want to interact. But to interact, we have to make that experience simpler. And for the consumer journey, typical insurance journey, which starts from researching about a company, about a product, to buying, to being serviced, to claim, as well as, renewing a policy, is very important across this journey to understand which moment of truth makes the biggest impact to the customer. Very simple. When a consumer buys from a company and when a consumer claims from the company is when the greatest propensity of either a satisfaction, high satisfaction, or high dissatisfaction occurs. In the service paradigm, it's very simple. If you give them what's expected, they're not going to jump around the table. But if you don't give them what's expected, they're going to be extremely unhappy. And that is where most insurers make a mistake. And that's where, for example, we launched a digital app recently where you can do some of your services on the app. You can even buy on the app. We also are more and more engaging customers in this journey. We have almost 7 products available on our platform, so you could buy those products. So we are constantly looking at ways and means to simplify the consumer journey. Digital platforms. I think there are 2 parts to this conversation. One is platforms who others offer us. As I mentioned before, if telco has a platform where they are creating a seamless experience for the company, I'm happy to leverage that platform. One of our shareholders and one of our biggest partners, AirAsia, has AirAsia.com, and they're creating a super app, or they've created a super app which gives a compelling proposition to the customer where we're bringing different kinds of offers into one app. And that's a very exciting phase. And for us, we are happy to leverage those kind of partnerships to deliver our solution within that app. The reason is very simple. Why do we want to do it? We want to do it for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is if the customer is comfortable working within a certain platform, we are happy to leverage that platform. Second reason is it's easier for the customer to not move out of the platform because the consumer experience is broken. The second part of the conversation is platforms that we are creating. On our side, we have a travel tech platform that we offer many of our partners. It's a very exciting phase for us. So these travel tech platforms, the benefit of it is we are able to work with airlines across the world. We work with multiple airlines, multiple travel agencies, multiple other partners, where we offer them the product, we offer them the price, we offer them the proposition. We also can offer reinsurance because we have a reinsurance capability. And finally, we offer a platform which is extremely usage-based, What I mean by that is we charge per policy, but bigger than that is it's extremely easy for the user to play around with the products, the features, etc. So I'm a firm believer in digital platforms and the opportunity it lends. Again, linking back to the consumer journey and making it easier for the consumer. So we are very much looking at that space, and we believe it's very much the future space to be in for insurers like us. Opportunities for me, the crisis that COVID has presented. Yes, it's a massive challenge, but for me, it's the biggest opportunity for the insurance industry, because COVID is doing what most boards and CEOs couldn't do, which is to push a different level of digital transformation. There are enough research out there with saying that we might see the highest level of productivity improvement in 70 over years in this industry. So it's going to be a very fascinating phase. For us, we want to focus on three pillars. Health, because we believe the millennials and zillennials are even more aware of their health. We all know Malaysia is not the most healthy place to live in because our food is very good here. 48% Malaysians are obese or overweight, which is changing with the younger generation because they're more aware. So we have to create propositions, which are simple health products, but also services around it which help them live better, both physically and mentally. So a key part of our strategy is products being simpler. For example, we offer a dental plan, which is very simple. Not many insurers offer it, and you can buy it online. The second part of it is really about engaging the customer and how can we offer them lifestyle propositions across different moments of truth. Some would be bite-sized, some could be bought by them on their own, and so on and so forth. For example, it could be travel, it could be PA, it could be bite-sized protection for specific assets. It could be e-wallet protection. It could be many things. In the Middle East, we offer document protection. In Thailand, we've just launched a very interesting product where actually we give a PA, but with a certain level of cashless reimbursement with a card. So we are constantly evolving new models in that space. The third part of the story is SME. We all know SME is the backbone of most economies in the world. So very, very critical that we understand the SMEs, their needs, and are able to digitally communicate to them. Digitally does not mean direct. It could also be through different modes of distribution, but making it digitally delivered to them and giving them products and propositions which are easy, simple, and not throwing large corporate products on them and saying, here goes your product. It's a fundamentally big opportunity. SMEs are undercovered and underpenetrated today. The reason is insurance is expensive and we give offers which they can't afford, and so on and so forth. So for me, the opportunity is unlimited, and if we can put in the whole digital angle and the automation angle, there's a significant cost we can take out of this business. So be it the use of robotics process automation, be it chatbots, be it simplifying the consumer journey using APIs. It could be across the board, or using AI and ML to price more actively and be more offer pricing which is more hyper personalized and hyper customized. While the product may be commoditized, that's the way to go. The pricing could be hyper customized and hyper personalized.